All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the class. This is J560, Managing Online Public Relations. I am Professor Ben, and we are here tonight to talk a little bit about everything. So we didn't have class because of Valentine's Day. I figured we didn't need class. And then last week, I did not feel good at all. It's like a goober. It's going around up here in the Grand Rapids area. So I don't know about down there in Indiana, the hometown. Yay, winter, right? So we're here and we're chatting, and we got a lot to talk about today. So first, anybody, I talked about this our first couple classes, and it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since we've chatted, but we don't have a social media or communication fail for extra credit. I don't know if you remember that, but like every time we have class, you find some type of a PR, social media, advertising, communication, whatever type of fail. And it can be online, it can be traditional media, whatever. And you'll get 5 points extra credit. I'll take a couple each time. So remember that next week, because I think we talk next week. Let me check. Yes, we do, because the week after that is spring break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. So, hey, Instagram. Okay, so there are a few things here that I would like to cover. LinkedIn, Instagram, and then kind of like web videos and YouTube a little bit. And that's like a ton of stuff. So first off, my dogs are going nuts. LinkedIn. Have any of you ever done LinkedIn for business or like a company, or done, something different than a personal page on LinkedIn? No? Okay, cool. It is just like it is business side, like it is the personal side. It is your just down professional. You don't want to do fluffy stuff. Have a nice picture. Don't have a selfie. Don't have a crazy pic with stuff like behind you and all that. It's really easy now with our phones to like just stand in front of a halfway decent wall or background and take a headshot. So if you don't have a professional headshot, try it. Do it. Portrait mode. If you guys have an iPhone, portrait mode is sweet, and it will do that. And I know that there's something on Droiders, especially Samsung's, it's something similar to portrait mode. I don't know exactly what that is though. So I've done LinkedIn for business for a few separate types of entities. I used to do one for a type of giveaway tchotchke company in Indianapolis. And so on it, we focus primarily on goods and like selling goods and services. And now I do it for Mary Free Bed, and it's a lot different with healthcare, and it is a little fluffy just because there's not a whole lot to say. Honestly, there is and there isn't. But what's captivating in rehabilitation and healthcare isn't, you have to make it captivating. Oh, my dogs are running around crazy. My wife's not here. I hear them above me. And it sounds like they're going nuts on the wooden floors. So LinkedIn for business, it works. How do I utilize it the most now, and with the other company that I've only done it for 2 companies, basically is for jobs. When they have jobs, posting jobs and saying, hey, we have this. Both companies, the company in Indianapolis was like a small to mid-size, about 50 to 100 employees. Mary Free Bed has about 1,500, 1,600 employees. So there's always stuff at Mary Free Bed to post on there. Now, there is a free business page on LinkedIn, but here's the thing. They don't open it up as much as they have a paid business page. Of course, LinkedIn does, and more and more we're going to see this happen. I just probably think it's only a matter of time before it happens with a paid version on Facebook too. But this paid page for business on LinkedIn, it was crazy. So when I worked for the for-profit business in Indianapolis, they wanted $20,000 annually to have this more robust, more organic page, which was kind of crazy. And then I came to Mary Free Bed and called them up again and said, hey, this is a non-for-profit rehabilitation hospital. And they're like, oh, it'll only be $10,000. I was like, damn, Gina. I was like, I just no, we could not do that. We can't do it. $10,000 a year. And I was like, and I still have to pay to like, oh, if I really have this job that I like and want to boost, I still have to pay that. That's not like in my 10K that I'm paying you. And they're like, no. So, but they work. Here's the thing. They really do work. IU Health has one actually in downtown Indianapolis, IUPUI Health, IU Health System. And it gets major organic hits and views. So it's cool. Just like everything else with LinkedIn, money talks, but the true organicness with LinkedIn is still honestly higher than Facebook, higher than Twitter, even maybe a little bit higher than Instagram, because your people that are on there, they are on there for a reason. They are engaged. They're not just kind of flipping through. I don't really know anybody that just flips through LinkedIn to flip through LinkedIn like I do on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm just like hanging out. So it's cool. And it has its own, it has its own analytics built in, just like some of the rest of them. And it's getting really good. Again, every month, every year, the native analytics on these platforms themselves, instead of, you can also use, a content management system like Hootsuite or Sprout Social, or if you have a lot of money, you can use Salesforce's, thing, something like that. So it's called Pardot. It's really crazy, really robust, and it's awesome. I love it, but I don't have it because Mary Free Bed, my small non-for-profit hospital system, well, I guess really kind of small to medium-sized, just they don't invest that type of money in digital media yet. Maybe I will convince them to do that. Okay. Let me see. Going on next. Any questions about LinkedIn? Again, that's your top of the clouds overview there with that. No? Okay. So let's talk Instagram here now for a few minutes. Anybody done an Instagram business account? No? Okay. So what's different about Instagram for business versus personal, personal profiles? A lot. It is really good. Okay, so Facebook, again, instead of putting money into the user experience, or putting money into that paid experience where they can make their money, and business is one of them, those things. So if you go to, Instagram, and I'll just say Mary Free Bed's Instagram handle is MFB Rehab. Okay, and everybody check out Mary Free Bed on Instagram real quick, and I'll walk you through a few things that we have. That's a little cooler with it too. So if you go to Mary Free Bed's Instagram and you're on a device, okay, you can also see it on your computer too. But if you're on a device, you have an option to hit call, an option to hit email, or an option to hit directions. And that's free. That that doesn't cost anything there, and that's really, really neat. The description, profile description, you get 100 more characters, so it's 400 characters, I think, is what you get on business profile descriptions rather than how they do it on personal profile descriptions. We have linked, which isn't doing near as well as I hoped it would be, is Instagram television, IGTV, which when they enacted it, I was kind of like, okay, so why are they doing this? But then I got it. They're trying to bring back the raw video even more into like this raw type of format. And you can only use vertical video too, no horizontal video on Instagram TV. It's okay. But that's there along with all the highlights, from my stories. And if you've done stories and you've been on Instagram stories, which I don't require you to do, you've probably seen these things. And you can click on these. I just put one on today that said sled hockey. And it's because our sled hockey team, I can't get it to click through. Our sled hockey team played the AAA team from the Detroit Red Wings, which are called the Grand Rapids Griffins, in actual sled hockey. So all these able-bodied pros got in these sleds and were pushing themselves around on the ice. It was kind of cool. It was a charity game. It was fun. So I like that about it. Also, you have a very prominent address right there where you can click on an address. That's clickable too, and for your website. So also, let me hit click here. Has cool things like this, which are called insights and native analytics, just like Facebook. It's not as robust as Facebook analytics, but it gives you everything that you really need to know. The only other thing I use with Instagram and like trying to get analytics besides the native app is I use Sprout Social, and I have it track time. Okay, and that can do that. But Sprout Social is a paid content management system that I use with Mary Freebed, and it's one of the more expensive ones too. So Instagram's cool, and man, I'm telling you right now too. Especially, I tell everybody this, even for healthcare, like what I'm doing with our core demographic, females 30 to 60. Like, why would they want to be on Instagram? Because everybody's on Instagram. Everybody. It's the one true platform right now that has that reach. Your younger generation is on Snapchat, but they're also on Instagram. Okay, and Instagram's getting cooler and cooler by the minute for them. And Snapchat is, their users, active users are going down a lot, especially over the last year. So you can spend money on Instagram with business, boosting a post, boosting your page, just like you do in Facebook, just like you can do in Facebook. So it's cool like that. You can do a campaign, you can do a quick one, one out, here's my 24-hour boost, or here's my 6-month campaign that I want to run for this and that. You can put different types of imagery on it where again, just like with Facebook, if somebody sees your ad, they'll see a different, type of image or something like that. If they see it again, if they, hit your criteria that you set. Instagram's cool. It really is cool. I mean, does everybody here like Instagram? Yeah, no, no, no. So we got 2 no's and we got 4 yeses. Okay. So, I'm sorry you guys don't like it. I mean, it's my fun one to me is Instagram. It really is. And I think it's cool like that. I like the fact that you can do a little bit more and more and more, with it. But I understand, just like any other social media platform, it's not for everybody, and and social media is not for everybody. But the whole point of this class is to get into it a little bit in business. Yes, ma'am. Did you have?
Yeah. It's okay, but I can't work Instagram from my home computer. I can only, at least I don't think so. I tried to do a post from the computer, and there was no way for me to do a post. I had to actually go use my phone.
Right. Yeah. There's one way to get around that. Mm-hmm. You can click and you can interact on your computer, but you can't like upload and post. Okay.
Right.
If you have to use a content management system, a CMS system, like what I've been talking about, like Hootsuite or TweetDeck or Echo Phone or Sprout Social. And those have the capabilities when you set up these streams and stuff. We'll actually talk about this in later class. They do have scheduling capabilities, and it's righteously badass. When that happened, it was like, all right, thumbs up, because you hadn't been able to do that until about 6 months ago. Oh. So it was a cool thing. But yes, it is the one where you just can't upload like that unless you use those. Now, if you're really interested, I can teach you and show you how to do that now. If you really want to do something like that, I can show all of you, and I'll show you guys how to do that later, with, posting everything. Like every single one of my social media platforms I have for Mary Freebed, and I have set up in my Hootsuite account. So I have about 20, 30 different screens. I can click through to different ones, and you just have to learn how kind of the system and the way it works. And it's really user friendly. And if you use other social stuff, you'll pick up on these. But there is a little bit of a learning curve, but there's so many, don't worry about it, there's so many YouTube videos out there and 101s on all these different, management systems and how to use them. But we'll get into that. That's for another day. But yeah, Instagram, it's cool. I like it. I'm sorry that you guys don't like it. And if you do have a business, again, it's working for everything right now. I've been doing that for about the past year to 2 years. It's just really hitting every demographic from, you're supposed to be 14 years old. That's the federal regulation, but I know it's not followed when you're supposed to be on social media, and everyone from your 14-year-olds on up to, my mom, she's almost 70 years old, and she loves to go to Instagram every day. And she does multiple times a day, just like her Facebook feed. It's cool because it's easy. It's got it's a user-friendly, easy database because you can't do as much, obviously, as Facebook and stuff like that. So rest of class, I want to talk about like YouTube and web videos, and chat your videos. So we all have our topics. We're all cool. I want to make sure that you get into, this weekend or something like that. If, think of it just like a paper, but a visual paper. So write an outline. Here's your introduction. Here's your points. Here's, midpoints. Here's your conclusion. And as you write your outline, look at your timing. Because again, you saw in the syllabus, where is that? Syllabus. What video? It needs to be between 2:30 and 3:30. Okay, so between 2:30 and 3:30. Cannot go under, you cannot go over. All right, please meet those, and that's just part of it. If you have a lot to say and you need help, I can help you narrow that down. But again, it's always better when you're doing videos to have more than to have not enough. Okay, I will just tell you that. You want to be cutting when you're finishing your video. If you've never done a video, you don't want to be like, damn, I need a little filler, or I need this here. You will take your video and you will put it on YouTube. So you'll take your video if you're a droider or you're an Apple person, you can shoot them from your phones, you can shoot them from your iPads, whatever. It doesn't have to be 1080 high def, any of that stuff. It just has to be a good, decent video. Okay. If you use Apple, you use iMovie to edit your video. If you use a Windows PC based system, you use Windows Live Movie Maker. And that's the free one on that. They both do the exact same type of things in just a little bit different ways, but they are both basically like what I call drag and drop systems, where you're just hitting buttons and you're dragging things and you're putting it there. All right. Don't be intimidated by it. It's cool. If you've never done a video before, embrace it. It's fun because I'll tell you, it's a cool, good skill as a communicator to have, because there will be a time when you need a video and there's nobody around, or you don't have a video person, or you don't have an editor, and you're promoting something, or you're getting ready to put this, out on the market, or who knows, what it is, or you work for a nonprofit and you have this big event, you have to have video now. There is no getting around it. Okay, there's zero getting around it. If you're not doing web video, even raw web video that's like that's like completely uncut, you have to do some type of video, and that includes live streaming. Okay, and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they all have these capabilities to do live streaming videos and to host your videos. Okay, but again, with this, you're going to make your video, you're going to output it, save it to your computer, and then you're going to have to upload that video file from your computer to your YouTube account. Okay, and then when you go into your WordPress blogs, it's really cool and really easy. You just go and copy that link. I mean, you'll hit add video, just like you hit add picture, into your blog. It's really simple. And, you hit and you copy and paste a link in there, and then boom, there's that little player right there in your blog, and it looks awesome, looks professional. And that's what I would like for you to do with your midterm and your final. Put a couple of words above it, just like introduce what it is and stuff. I'm not going to put any type of word limit or, cap or, excuse me, just minimum word count on that. So go for it and have fun with it. Now, again, first time I did it, I spent hours and hours and hours doing it. Okay. My suggestion would be if you've never done anything, go on YouTube. Again, there are so many 101s, so many tutorials on there for both of these softwares. It's unbelievable. Okay, let me look at my list. Oh, okay, video, yes. All right, 2:30 to 3:30. Make sure you have a opening or title. card or whatever, you have an opening or a title to your video. You have to use some type of sound in your video, music. Okay, some type of music. It can be like music when you're just going up into it, leading you in and like leading you out. Or there have been people that have done videos that music is just, a really soft, like 10%, it's background music for their video if it's like just a lot of them talking. But yeah, so make sure you have an opening or a title type of card, whatever that is, just to be like, this is what this video is. Make sure you have some type of sound, music. It could be sound effect. If you don't want to do music, I've had some people, make these wild sound effects on their videos or just use sound effects. And all this stuff is free. You can find all this stuff online. And even both, there's music options on both iMovie and Windows Live Movie Maker, just free stock music, that won't get tagged or won't get flagged by YouTube if you use it, like a top 40 hit or something like that. Okay. Some type of graphic. So if you're, you just can't sit here and talk in front of like, we're doing, have to have, some type of infographic on screen at some point. Or if it's like me talking and, you see in the news, they have those lower thirds right here, Ben Reisinger, IUPUI professor or something like that. You can put like on a lower third. I had some students get creative one year and they were doing like a tutorial and they had this little, it was like what was that called? The paperclip thing that used to be in Microsoft Word to help you. And it was like bouncing around their screen and stuff. So just some type of graphic, and it doesn't have to be the whole thing. You just have to do some type of graphic and have it on there for however many seconds you deem. And then just have your enroll, your credits. That's it. And again, this all has to fit in between that 230 to 330 mark, that 230 to 330 range. Okay. So you have to think about it. So you're doing your outline. Number one's your introduction card. How many seconds is that going to be on? I suggest not putting on an intro card any longer than 5 to 7 seconds max. You may think that's not a long time, but it is when you're just sitting there staring at a thing that just has words or whatever, or some people have animated it, however you want to do it. There's your intro. And then it just depends on how robust you want to do with your outro or your credits roll. So both iMovie and Live Movie Maker have a credits roll thing that you just go and type in and it creates a credits roll for you, just like a real movie. It's pretty kick-ass cool. I've had some people just do a static screen because they wanted to do that. But, if you get your information from somewhere, you need to source it. And that's what goes on your credits roll. If you interview someone, you need to list them there. What else needs to be there? Yeah, that's it. If you use somebody's music, I've had people ask that, like, they have friends band or something and they use their music, make sure you list the music there. If you use just stock music from, one of the editing softwares, you don't have to do anything with music. But just make sure you give credit due where it is, just like a paper again, but it's visual.
So cool. The intro and outro, that's like included in the 230 to 330 category. It's not 230 to 330 talking plus intro, outro.
No, ma'am. Everything together is one 230 to 330 video.
Okay.
So between that, and you can speed up, your end rolls, or you can just have an end roll on there. But again, if you're just going to have a static, whatever, I wouldn't have it on there any longer than like 5 to 7 seconds again. But if you have something scrolling, you can keep that on a little bit longer. Not like 20 or 30, but maybe, like 7 to 10 seconds. Good question. So that's it. That's what I got for you this week. It was a real, skim. I'm sorry, even more of a skim than usual. But if you have any questions on these things, give me a call, text me, tweet me. What is next week? What do we talk next? What do I have on here? Oh, SEO and SEM next week. Yeah. SEO and SEM is huge, huge. There are people that teach entire classes for a semester on this stuff. We're just going to spend 30 minutes But again, SEO and SEM, they are no damn joke. And just like you need to know these skills with being a communicator, this will help you out because, you know, everybody still Googles everything. You know, I know they say you optimize the stuff for Yahoo and Bing too, but what the hell ever. Everybody Googles everything, right? Nobody really like Yahoos or Bings. You know, it's like, oh, go to Google or ask Google, you know. So that's what we're optimizing it for. And again, you can optimize everything. Any pictures you upload to your WordPress blog, don't leave them IMG_3428, whatever. Make them, you know, if your blog's about public relations and, you know, PR_your name _blog or WordPress, everything you put, any type of object or material you put on your blog is indexed or spidered by, you know, those digital things that, you know, Google has out reading everything on the internet, every single page, you know, time and time again. And that's how you get, you know, your number 1, number 2 pages. So cool. It will be fun. So any questions? I talked a lot. No? Everybody feels confident about your videos? Got it? Under control? Awesome. It's good. It's happiness. Woo! That's what I like. So, okay, that's it for class. Have a good week. I'll see you on J560. Oh, that's the other thing I just want to talk about. Your blogs. Your guys' blogs are great. Okay, some of you have really filled out your blogs and you've added like an extra page or this or that or some pictures and stuff, and, you know, personalize it to make it your own. And absolutely do that. Okay. The other thing that I've looked at a few of your blogs I want to tell you about, go into your settings and look at your mobile optimization settings for your blog. Make sure that your blog is mobily optimized, and you'll be surprised. A lot of themes now within WordPress will let you do a little bit of customization to even the mobile theme that goes along with your desktop theme that you're used to seeing. So it's sweet. All right, thanks. Everybody have a good week. Peace and love. And I will see you next week, and we'll talk some SEO, SEM. And then after that, it's spring break. So nothing. Woo, chill. Bye. Have a good night, everybody.